Dirtle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Dirtle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and dirtle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Dirtle Magic. Today we're playing some more Jadzi, Oracle of Arkavios Journey to the Oracle. Looking at our opening hand, we do have enough lands to start off with. Opt to scry 1, some recovery, some removal, some blink. Not too terribly much on the follow-up though. Although we do get a few turns before anything gets hot and heavy, most likely. I think we can risk this. Let's keep it. Our first opponent, which also means we're going last, is a partner pairing with a Godless Shrine into play of Bruse, Boris Herder, and Tymna the Weaver. Tymna the Weaver is 1 white black for legendary 2/2 human cleric lifelink. At the beginning of the post-combat main phase, you may pay X life, where X is the number of opponents that were dealt combat damage this turn. If you do, draw X cards, partner. Bruse, 2 red white for a legendary 3/3 human ally. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, target creature you control gains double strike and lifelink till end of turn, partner. Our next opponent, Neheb Dreadhorde Champion with a Valakut into play. 2 red for a legendary 5/4 zombie minotaur warrior. Trample, whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, you may discard any number of cards. If you do, draw that many cards and add that much red mana. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Our last opponent, Beledros Witherbloom, 5 black-green for legendary 4/4 Elder Dragon with a Bajuka Bog into play. Always sad to see an early Bog, but good to get out of the way. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Pay 10 life, untap all lands you control, activate only once each turn, and it has flying. Don't remember if I mentioned that. Very good commander, easy to get to. You really have to keep pressure on a Witherbloom commander. Well, specifically Beledros. So it looks like we have damage and mana, life and mana, and life gain and card advantage. This is going to be an uphill battle. Bog is targeting themselves, why not? I remember one time I actually faced off against 2 Kadena decks while using Kadena. They bogged each other and I bogged myself because I didn't want to be left out. Comes our turn, we get Harmonized, good, card draw. Let's go ahead, play a forest, and pass it off. I do want to save Opt if we can, but I'm probably going to use it on the next turn or turn 3. Over to the partner player. Our commander, if you're unfamiliar, is on the front side. 6 blue for a legendary 5/5 human wizard. Discard a card, return this to its owner's hand. Magecraft, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it by paying 1 rather than paying its mana cost. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Borzhov's Signet after a land for the partner player. Backside of our commander, Journey to the Oracle, 2 green for a sorcery. You may put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Then if you control 8 or more lands, you may discard a card. If you do, return it to your hand. To Neheb's turn. The Valakut scares me as well. It does do any target, so that's our planeswalkers, that's our face, that's our critters, although our critters are usually pretty large. Still worried about it though, maybe it'll keep Tymna down for a bit. Mountain into play for them. Wild guess. They'll discard a card to draw 2 cards. It's a snow-covered mountain. 2 Beledros Witherbloom. I'm hoping we are the least threatening at the table, but we are playing Simic, and you really gotta keep an eye on that no matter what they're playing. So, might even out. Swamp into play for Beledros. Followed by Arcane Signet. Ironically, the green deck's not ramping. Skull Clamp into play for Beledros. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and opt here. We could get back if we really need it. That's another land. Do we need another land? We probably do. Let's go ahead and keep that on top. It's still early enough where we don't really have to go too hard on the scries. Let's pass it off to our opponents. Over to the partner player. So they could play Tymna this turn, get it down early in for that damage. None of us are really going to have any defenders. We have Vizier of the Menagerie, but that's a 4-drop, so Tymna coming down. I really wish I had gotten one of those in the Commander Legends packs, but what can you do? Alright, that's it for the partner player after a mountain into play. Over to Neheb. I am also, I'm just generally worried about all of these opponents. Hopefully we can eke out something. This deck is a bit slower. Harness the Storm. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell from your hand, you may cast target card with the same name as that spell from your graveyard. Okay. Oh no. Oh, Approach, was it Dragon's Approach? Crap. This isn't good. Too bad Beledros didn't save that bog. Speaking of which, Beledros' turn. Wood Elves coming down. They're going to get some more lands. Ramp to Beledros, use it to ramp some more. That's basically the play pattern with it. Unfortunately, not the most interesting Golgari commander. Sorry, Witherbloom. Skullclamp being equipped to the Wood Elves, they'll draw 2 cards. Comes our turn, we get Azuri's Predation. Could be good later against the pests, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's go ahead and get down the pathway by the backside to get a blue source. And then I think at this point we really just have to kill that enchantment. I don't want them setting up for the Dragon's Approach. And we'll pass it off. We're probably going to be taking 3 to the face later, but... To the partner player's turn, we have a Swamp into play. Could be Bruse coming down. That would be 4 commander damage with double lifelink, which is redundant, but still. Mardu Ascendancy. Whenever a creature they control attacks, they get a Gobbo, and they can sacrifice it to give their creatures 0/3 till end of turn. I was always just okay on this. It wasn't my favorite. We have an attack. That's a Gobbo. Alright, so let's see where they're attacking. Probably not into the beast. It is... Okay, they split it. Tymna is into us, though, so that is commander damage. Goblin off into Beledros. Alright. Combat damage is good. We're down to 38, up to 2 commander. They get to draw 2 cards by paying 2 life. They're down to 38 on the partner player's side. Beledros down to 39. That was it for the partner player. Over to Neheb. I imagine we'll be taking 3. Although, at this point, I'd probably be hitting somebody else, but we did blow up their enchantment. Land into play, followed by Neheb Dreadhorde Champion. On the bright side, it doesn't have haste. The beast is, yep, off into us. Sad face. We'll go down to 35. Over to Beledros. That's a Swamp into play. So they're up to 6 mana currently. So their commander next turn on turn 5, not too shabby. 3 visits, they're ramping. Go get a Farce card. I mean, they do have to reveal it by putting it on the battlefield. There it is, Overgrown Tomb. Yep, so next turn is assured. Sad Robot coming down. They'll go get another land. To our turn, we get Lignify. Want to keep that for later. Let's go ahead and play the Vizier of the Menagerie and just have a blocker. And then, assuming what happens next turn, we'll either draw or do something. Let's go ahead and pass it off to our opponents. Ghostly Flicker will be very helpful later. We also have Displace in hand. Over to the partner player. 8 cards in hand after the draw. Tymna, always good at keeping a hand healthy. Let's see what they do with the turn. Could be like an aggro control hybrid. That's usually how I see those kind of cards going, but each deck can be a little bit different. We have Bruse Boros Herder coming down. So yeah, anything that can block it right now is just going to straight up... They'll trade unless it's like Sad Robot. Loyal Apprentice coming down. That's a lot of extra tokens. Azuri's Predation, if we can get to it, is going to be really good. Let's see if they're going to swing anywhere. If I had to pick one, it'd probably be either really anybody, but Beledros would be easiest. That's a Thopter that do fly. Coming at us with the Thopter. Mardu Ascendancy will trigger again. Alright, so we have 2 goblins off into Beledros and Tymna off into the Neheb player. That works for me. Neheb does need a little bit of pressure. I mean, Beledros is already getting out of reach, which is unfortunate. We will not block the 1. We cannot. It has the flying. We take the 1. We are down to 34. Neheb takes the damage there, up to 4 commander damage, down to 36. Beledros blocks 1 of them, takes 1, down to 38. Partner player, down to 39 after paying life to draw some cards. Over to Neheb. Neheb on the attack, off into the partner player. Again, that works for me. Although them getting any extra card advantage isn't my favorite. Damage is good, they do not block. 5 commander damage for the partner player. Down to 34, Neheb will trigger. So let's review that real quick. They discard any number of cards, so they can keep them all if they want. If you do discard that many cards and add that much red. So they could potentially get a huge ritual off of this into something that would be very bad. It is in fact 6 red mana. What are they going to play? That's Ancient Tomb into play. Tons of mana for the Neheb player. They take damage down to 36. Dragon's Approach. There's one of them. Down to 31 for us, down to 31 for the partner player, down to 35 for Beledros. Surprise, another Dragon's Approach. And Wheel of Fortune. Might actually be helpful. Unfortunately, we do have to discard, and we lose some recovery with the Balged recovery going away. New hand. Bunches of lands. Some Scry. We got the Ghostly Flicker. Skullwinder on top of a Recursion. Thassa, God of the Sea. Not the best, but it does offer more Scry. We have another Dragon's Approach during the second main. We are down to 25, partner player down to 25, and Beledros down to 29. Hopefully Neheb has become an arch enemy of sorts. Thunder Dragon. When enters the battlefield, deal 3 damage to each creature without flying. Nice. 7 mana to drop it, too. Alright, our creature gets to live. Fantastic. Unfortunately, Azuri's Predation wouldn't take care of the Thunder Dragon, but that's okay. Beledros' turn. We have a land in play, followed by Wayfarer's Bauble. Wayfarer's Bauble gets the crack. Rampity ramp ramp. Also, reprinted already. Valentin. That's not good. So it basically has Graveyard Hate on it. Black 1/1 Menace lifelink. If a non-token creature and opponent controls would die, exile it instead. If you do, or when you do, sorry, you may pay 2. If you do, create a pest. Yeah, it's pretty good. Migration Path, more ramp. Comes our turn. We get Skullwinder, Vivian on top. Let's play the Rejuvenating Springs, make sure it comes into play untapped. And then let's play the Bestiary. Don't want to put Thassa down just yet. And we'll pass it off there. Not too much we can do to the board at this point, although I guess we could have threatened Valentin, but I also want to dissuade Neheb from targeting us, so they can get easy damage out on the partner player. Over to said partner player, 8 cards in hand after the draw. Wheels will help you do that. Smothering Tithe. That'll be good against the Neheb player for a bunch of mana. Hope they have something to do with it. 6 cards is a lot of options, though. Victimize. They sacrifice a creature to get 2 back. It is the Loyal Apprentice and Bloodgift Demon. I actually really like this card. It's a 5/4 flyer for 5, and you basically get to Phyrexian Arena anybody. Good for politics, good if you mill somebody out and they just can't hash it. Over to Neheb. Smothering Tithe will trigger for the first time this game, and I'll stop saying that until it's destroyed or removed. We will also just yield to it. I don't intend on paying that necessarily until we get a lot more mana to the battlefield. Unfortunately also, Victimize brought the creatures into play tapped. Neheb still has an easy face to smack. We have Gamble. Red needs, I think red of all the colors should have the tutors for sorceries and potentially some artifacts, and it does to the graveyard or exile, so I think that's good for red. But red really has no actual tutors per se. I think red should get the tutors for sorceries specifically. You can let me know what you think about that in the comments. I mean, blue has what, artifacts and instants, white has planeswalkers and legends, green has lands and creatures, and black has anything. Red needs something. Neheb on the attack. Luckily not into us, is into Beledros. Beledros is going to be scary pretty quick, so let's see what they're going to do with it. Hopefully they block with Valentin. It's kind of a waste though. They do not. Beledros down to 24, up to 5 commander damage. Neheb does the wheelie thing. They discard 4, get 4 mana, and Smothering Tithe does what it does. I should mention also, Valakut is almost active. They have 5 mountains in play. That's going to be much sadness. Thrumming Stone. Suppose you cast have Ripple 4. So, redundancy, and we can't get rid of it. Sad face. Dragon's Approach. Ripple 4 for Dragon's Approach. Nullspine Dragon. Good to see that going away. Another Dragon's Approach on top, though. Let's check our opponent's graveyards for any removal. We do have Mortify. Destroy target enchantment or creature. Creature could work. Let's see. Anguished Unmaking. Yeah, I think we're going to Skullwinder next turn and target our good friend over there, the partner player, see if they want to do anything about anything. Dragon's Approach, Ripple 4 again. This could be the end if they if they don't whiff. There's another Dragon's Approach. So far, looking at 9 total damage to our face. Okay, so here's the update so far. They did say they have Dragon's Approach in the deck, obviously, but at 35 as the count. So I don't think they're going to be whiffing on the Ripple, and it looks like we're going to be pretty dead. Good game to our opponent. I wish it had been a bit of a longer game. It is only turn 6. Alright, we have our first whiff, although I think at this point we're still probably dead. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3, as you know, is 21. We will be down to 4. That's unfortunate. Oh, we actually survive at 1, so does the partner player. Beledros, however, is down. Okay, so they get to basically do anything and, like, breathe, and we fall over. Sad face. Yeah, they actually passed the turn. We get to scry. I don't think anything right now is going to help us, though. We just can't deal 32 damage. Let's keep Vivian on top. At least it can give us a reach token. Forest on top. Smothering Tithe will trigger. I know I'd say I'd stop saying that, but I'm pretty sure we're about to die. Let's go ahead and say no. Let's play an island. And let's play Skullwinder. Say no to the Bestiary trigger, and what do we want to recur from our graveyard? Probably Beast Within at this point, but giving them a 3/3 really doesn't help us at all. Let's get Lignify, and then we will let the Mardu player try and pick some removal. Unfortunately, they don't have anything to destroy the artifact except Anguish Unmaking. Maybe Dockside Extortionist will get them something. They do have 5 cards in hand. We'll choose the partner player, and I guess we'll Lignify Neheb. And we'll pass it off there. Hopefully the Mardu player has some kind of answer, but all they have to do is have another Dragon's Approach in their hand. To the partner player's turn, we have a Bloodgift Demon trigger. If they don't want to die, they have to pick the Neheb player. If they do want to kill us, they're going to have to pick us. It is Neheb, they get to draw an extra card. That's not something I've seen Bloodgift Demon have to do before. Smothering Tithe will trigger, they get a treasure though. Neheb taps down the rest of their mana, going off to the main portion of the partner player's turn. Let's see if they can do anything with it. 7 cards in hand after the draw. Bruse Borscht Herder coming down. That means a double striking, lifelinking flyer. Pretty good. They are still in this game, and we unfortunately don't have lifelink. Master Warcraft. Cast only before attackers are declared. You may choose which creatures attack this turn. You choose how each creature blocks this turn and how those creatures block. That essentially makes everything unblockable. Loyal Apprentice will trigger. That's a Thopter. Hopefully no, it's swinging at us. I mean, we are dead to any Dragon's Approach. It'd be kind of a waste. We have some triggers. There'll be some Goblins too. They're swinging everything at Neheb. All of the Goblins option to the Neheb player. They gave lifelink and double strike to Bruse for the second trigger. Let's see if Neheb's going to block any of it. They won't take lethal, I don't think, but it's going to be quite the switch up. Yeah, there it is. Partner player back up to 17, Neheb down to 9. Anguish Unmaking getting rid of that ripple. Nice. So that's the card they got back with the Skullwinder. And we are still probably really dead. Over to Neheb's turn, 5 cards in hand after the draw. Mana Geyser, that's a lot of red mana. Dragon's Approach, and we're gone. We are at -2. Why are fields still here? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and give the points to the partner player, just because they're not quitting on it. Unfortunately for us, we just don't have life gain in green and blue. Not in this deck, anyway. Dragon's Approach again out of the Neheb player. Partner player down to 8. Alright, so all they really have to do is attack with their 2 creatures, and that's 10 damage. Nullspine Dragon coming down, they're going to draw a whole bunch of new cards. We also had Yeltrova the Hellkite come into play. Smothering Tithe will trigger 6 times. Faithless Looting out of Neheb. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Smothering Tithe does some more treasuring. And they're cycling a Forgotten Cave. There's another Dragon's Approach. Wheel of Misfortune. That puts things in a bit of a tough position. So in case you're unfamiliar, 2 red for a sorcery. Each player chooses a number 0 or greater. Then all players reveal the numbers chosen simultaneously and determine the highest and lowest numbers revealed this way. Wheel of Fortune deals damage equal to the highest number to each player who chose that number. Each player who didn't choose the lowest number discards their hand, then draws 7 cards. So basically what this does is you bid. The chosen number is 5. The partner player goes down. That's unfortunate. Why it's -5, I'm not entirely sure. And there's the game. Good game to our opponent. Turn 7 a bit quick, but can't doubt its effectiveness. Let's go take a look at the deck. Alright, here's the deck. The only new thing I added to the deck was Kasmina Enigma Sage. I did see it in testing, and it does have the scry and can make us a token for a blocker. So that's pretty good, plus we can tutor out an instant or sorcery if we need to, if we can get her to 8, so was trying it out in the deck. Unfortunately didn't see her this game, not that I think it would have mattered too much. Unfortunately, we only ran into Beast Within. We do have some other things like Acidic Slime, Bane of Progress, and Crozing Grip to get rid of things. Not too much else though, and unfortunately we couldn't get down Skullwinder in time to help our opponent get rid of it, the Thrumming Stone, and they got to play all those Dragon Approaches for free basically, so not much we could have done. Other than that, the Dragons also would have given us some trouble because they all fly. Flood of Tears would have been good for that though, and maybe Cyclone Summoner, as long as they didn't have too many ETB effects. Yeah, that's it for this game. Jadzi is an 8-drop general, and this is a slower Simic deck. Just can't outrace that kind of damage. If you saw any cards that you want to purchase for yourself, maybe, 35 Dragon Approaches for your own deck, card sleeves, or sealed product you might want to purchase, please consider using the CCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It helps out the channel and doesn't cost you anything extra. On to the next commander from Strixhaven. Until then, stay safe out there.